Hello, welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We're your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our feedback on each contestant and their overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we'll always keep it 100 with our feedbacks and critiques of each contestant. But what we're not here to do is come for anyone's character or any contestant as a human being. While we may come off a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean, we'll always do our best to speak our truths with love, kindness, and respect. And with that, let's talk about night 4 of the knockouts, which we thought was supposed to be the final night of the knockouts, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
You know, Stephanie, before we begin, tonight was just so special. You know, a little side note, I just feel like, even though I know they're not, I just feel like they're listening to us.
Come on.
Like, because of what happened at the end of tonight, I just feel like they're listening to us.
Come on.
I was like, well, if NBC and the powers that be at The Voice are feeling what Stephanie and I are feeling, and what I think America or whoever watches the show is feeling, they're realizing that this season, and I'm just getting chills talking about it, is so special.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. Sometimes these things are lightning in a bottle, they just catch, but it's just such a special season, and we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end, because NBC, I feel like, is hearing us as the fans and giving us what we want.
Yes.
And these contestants are giving us what we want as far as songs. So without further ado, let's jump right in. What was the leak tonight, Stephanie?
Oh my goodness. So we literally got off of recording the last episode, episode 87, and I looked at my phone and I got a message that NBC's The Voice Instagram had released something. And I'd forgotten, like, okay, there's supposed to be another leak today. I go straight to the YouTube because I'm like, I don't want to see any little chopped bits. I need to see the whole thing, okay?
No, man.
So the first person, well, let me tell you who it was first. It was from Team John. We had Mac Royals, we had Taylor Deneen, and we had Brandon Montel. So let's start with Mac Royal. And I will tell you my initial experience. So Mac Royals comes out. Carson's like, here's Mac Royals, and he's going to sing Lost Without You. Now, for whatever reason, I didn't know what Lost Without You was. It just didn't register to me. So the music starts. The intro starts. It's like, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
You literally would have thought somebody had intruded into my house. The way I screamed. I will not do it right now because my family is sleeping. But the way I screamed before the man had even said anything. So,
and that's where we're going to start.
So let's
the
discuss.
Man even said.
Before the man
sung,
even sang.
Before he even said. No, you said it right first, Stephanie. Before he said anything. Because Mac Royals, with an S, had the nerve to talk us in. He had the nerve to talk us into this song. He's like, y'all doing okay?
He said, how y'all feeling?
Right?
How y'all feeling?
Y'all all right?
We gonna groove for just a second. No, he said, we gonna groove for just a second. Is that all right? I said, it's all right. It's all right. And I don't know if you noticed, James, because I didn't notice until the last viewing of this, which has been about 15 since this afternoon. He took his glasses off. He was wearing glasses.
Now made that comment. Now said you were like.
He took his glasses off.
Man, don't be coming on there with no shirt and suit and you know, everybody going crazy over you. You got Gwen all hot and bothered. Dude, Mac, you know what? Mac gave one of the most electrifying performances of the entire season.
Come on.
And it was so, because the song, there's no big bombastic singing.
No.
This song, if you know this song, it is a very grown and sexy song. It's the best way I can words I can use to describe it. This
Yes,
is
it is.
Robin Thicke, who, you know, of the famous Blurred Lines, right? This was his first kind of monster hit. This was before
Mm-hmm.
Blurred Lines. And
Mm-hmm.
Robin Thicke wrote this song for, at the time, who was his high school sweetheart, who became his wife. They're no longer together, unfortunately, but you could tell that this man wrote this song with a woman he was completely head over heels in love with, who was his
Mm-hmm.
wife at the time, Paula Patton.
Mm-hmm.
And it is such a grown. I was talking to Stephanie earlier. I was like, you know, how can I say this and keep it PG? I said, and Stephanie's like, well, you know, this is a husband's writing a song to his wife. It
Yeah.
don't have to be PG, okay?
Come on. Come on.
It just doesn't. And Mac embodied the essence of this grown and sexy song.
Yes.
But what Mac did, he Mactified it. Like, he
Come on.
Mactified it. I made up a word, Mac. Mac, I know you're a friend of the show. I know you watch the show. Dude, you Mactified it. Mac, there's something, I had to really, really go back and listen. There's some things that you do that are so magical. Like, you didn't just go, lost without you. No, you said, lost without you. Losing myself. How does it feel? Know that like it, dude, it's just those little nuances that just make you just bleed all over this song, dude. That's the
Yes.
best way. I said, no one ends a note or a phrase like Mac.
Come on.
Every note, go back and listen to what Mac does at the ends of his phrases. It's a little lift. It's a little just nuanced perfection is the best word I can use to describe it. I said, boy, if you don't walk that up, I was almost going to say something else, but I'm not going to cuss tonight. I said, you better walk that something.
It was that make a man line. It was the make a man. Make a man feel.
I said, and Niall and John just about fell off their chairs. I said, boy, you better walk it up. I said, I love what you did at the end. One of my favorite things what you did is you let the BGVs take the lead.
Come on.
And then you started improvising around the BGVs. I said, what are you doing? Mac, that was a masterpiece. That was a masterpiece. Mr. Thicke, I didn't think I'd ever say this. You got to hand that song over to Mac Royals. You've got to hand that song over. That was so smooth. That was so grown and sexy. That was so... It was just so perfect. And it was 100% Mac Royals. And it was just... It's been my favorite performance of the Knockouts. Stephanie?
I think it was perfect because not only was his singing perfect, but his performance of it was perfect.
Yeah,
he wasn't up there doing too much, but there was one point during like a quick instrumental break between the chorus and the next verse where he went, and John was like, bop, sir. He just gave a little, because listen,
it was so understated.
It was so understated, and it was so smooth, and it was so, yes, it was so authentic. It was so intimate, but not in a raunchy way. Like he was giving exactly what you want. It was sexy. It was exactly what you want from this song without feeling like icky or dirty or, anything like that. Because again, this song is a very intimate song. So if you have to express that in some way, or it's just going to look it's going to look weird. He did it to perfection. This man's chest voice. I was like, who does he sound like? The only person that even kind of came close in my mind was maybe a Tyrese, like a sweet lady Tyrese. Like, it was just so round and gorgeous. That band, the band was in the cut, and Mac was right there in the cut with him. And it was like, upon my first watch, I literally had my phone in my hand and I was walking my kitchen because I could not sit still. It was so good. It was so good.
In my opinion, it was the male version of giving him something he can feel, when En Vogue did giving him something he can feel. And if you go back and watch that video from like 1992, like, it was so classy, but it was so sexy.
Yes.
And that's what it was. Like, it was just grown and sexy. That's the only thing. Like, young people may not be able to understand what he was doing because it was just so an adult conversation.
Listen, that's what I was going to say. If you're mature enough, you got it. You got it.
It was so an adult conversation. It really was.
Yes. Outstanding.
So it was just, Mac, dude, like, you are just your star. Like, that's what they said. Like, you are a star.
Yes.
It's just, dude, you're just crazy. Who's next? Oh, Lord. It was like whoever was next was almost like an answer to Mac.
Absolutely.
It's like, I'm the dude and I'm lost without you. And the response was from Taylor.
Yes, Taylor Deneen. She sang "Sweet Thing" by Rufus and Shaka Khan. So Mac said, "I'm lost without you," and Taylor said, "You my sweet thing."
Taylor said, "I will love you anyway." I said, "Come on." I said, "Even if you can't stay, baby." Let me tell you, Taylor, how you introed that song, like the first line, it was all in the back phrasing. You didn't go, "I will love you anyway." No, you said, "I will love you anyway." Like, it was just crazy. It was like, da 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 da. Like, it was nuts, Taylor. Like, it was just so artistically perfect. I'll go crazy. Like, oh my goodness. I said, the voice doesn't stop. The scary thing about you, Taylor, is that when you go into your real high, I hear Shaka all day long.
All day long, James. All day long.
I can't do it. It's too late. But that whatever you were doing there, it was all Shaka. And I said, the end. What she did at the end of this song, it just didn't stop. It did, like Niles said, it did not stop. Just when we thought there was a ceiling, it just kept going. It just kept going. Taylor, you were the answer to Mac's Lost Without You. You were the answer. It was a revelation, girlfriend, and it looked effortless. It looked effortless. I can't say anymore. It was just so daggone good.
Even before she said the first line, as soon as the music hit, she stepped. Like, she was like, and stepped up. I said, "Oh, we in for it. We are in for it." And then, like you said, that's the first thing I wrote down, James, back phrasing. I said, you better back phrase this first.
Did you hear it with, like, the manipulation of the rhythm?
James, I was like, I was almost mad. I'm like, this how we gonna start? Now, I'm just trying to get over Mac, okay? I'm trying to recover from that. And this is what you gonna come and do. For real? For real. There is just this airy, floaty, yet deep quality to her voice. Her vibrato is so awesome.
Yeah.
It is so awesome. Just like you said, when she gets into a certain range, she's Shaka. I was like, you sound
I said,
exactly
no
like
wonder why Shaka pulled you out the crowd,
no
girl.
wonder why. Oh my goodness.
She must have gotten the memo.
Listen, that bridge.
She baby Shaka.
Literally. Like when she got into that bridge, when she said, "You are my," I was like, here we go, because that's really when it kept increasing. I was like, sing, ma'am, sing, ma'am. When she said to be it right, because I'm always with songs like this that I'm super familiar with, I'm always looking for the part. You know what I mean, James? Like there's always that part where you're like, okay, you gonna do it?
It's a Shaka bridge, right? It's the bridge of the song, and
yes.
nobody can sing that. That's
No.
why people don't attempt this. Or
No.
when people sing songs like Sweet Thing, they lower the key.
Thank you.
Because it's a Shaka range.
Right.
And nobody can sing in the stratosphere like Shaka except for Taylor.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. Like I was just like once she got into "I'll Go Crazy," I was like, oh, snappage. Snappage happened, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal because it just kept not maximum. It just kept going. Like her voice just kept going. When she should have been tired, she just kept going. Like the breath support of it all. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Did you see the joy on her face throughout the entire song?
Okay, the joy.
She's got this grin, like
yes.
this.
The joy on her face, the awe in Niall's face. Niall was basically up out of his seat. Everything that she did, he was like, feet up, climbing the chair, because that's like all you can do. Or just simply laugh. Like some at some points the judges were just laughing because it's like, what can't she do? What can't her voice do? We have yet to discover. We don't know
Taylor
what her voice can do.
Girlfriend. You sang Shaka Khan. This is like hallowed ground. Like singers don't bring these songs onto this show. This season is so daggone special.
That's right.
Oh, they just don't do it. I don't think I've ever heard Lost Without You on a show like The Voice or American Idol or anything like that. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Right.
And if I have, it hasn't been a good rendition because...
Come on.
All right, we got one more in this group, and it's our friend Brandon. Brandon. What did Brandon sing?
Yes, Brandon Montel. He sang.
I was not familiar with this song. My daughter, who is a huge SZA fan, she wanted me to buy her $200 tickets to see SZA this fall, and I was like, go somewhere, sit down with that. Yes. Well, what SZA song was it again, Stephanie?
It was Nobody Gets Me.
Wow, Brandon. I said, you are so versatile. I said, you are so versatile, so vulnerable, so perfectly executed. Brandon, you are a star.
Yes.
Like star. It was captivating. I was just like, I couldn't keep my eyes off of you.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep my ears off of you. Like it was just... I mean, you truly drew me in. I was not familiar with this song, but because of you singing it, like I want to go back and like hear this song now because it was so powerful.
Yeah,
and it's so funny. So my daughter happened to be in the kitchen, and I was in the next room over in the family room. And Stephanie's been to my house. Like my kitchen runs into my family room, so I told her that I was like, "Hey, Brandon is singing SZA," and like she got excited because she loves SZA. And I asked her, I said, did Brandon do anything different with this song? She's like, I don't know what he's doing, but I love it.
Ooh.
And so, Brandon, that's for my 14-year-old high school freshman who is a huge SZA fan. Like, she thought everything that you did was awesome. And I agree with her 100%. You were incredible, sir.
Yeah.
Stephanie?
Like this, I thought that this song showcased the magical part of his voice.
Yeah.
Like, there are parts of his voice, like his overall voice is just really captivating and really beautiful. But there were ranges in this song that really captivated, like this really magical portion of his voice. Can we talk about the fit for a minute? Bruh, that fit was tight. It was so you looked amazing.
You looked incredible.
Yes. So John put it best. He is like the male version of Brandy. The way that he runs out the
Love
phrases,
that.
I was like, absolutely, that is exactly what I'm looking for. His upper register is so beautiful, and well done for being brave, sir, because this is a very vulnerable song, and if it touched you in a certain way, to bring that onto the voice stage and to execute it the way that you did, where I saw the vulnerability, I saw even the slight uncomfortability of being in that moment, but the push through and saying, no, I'm going to own this moment. I thought you sang this song down,
Yeah.
sir. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. It really was.
I'm gonna take it a step further. Like he said, the male version of Brandy, and I'll give you a little bit more context, a little bit more detail. It's understated, murderous runs.
Come on, yes.
Understated, murderous runs. Like your runs are so understated, like they're not in the forefront. They're like understated, and they're murderous.
Yes.
Like your runs are crazy.
Yes.
And it's you're not a one-trick pony, Brandon.
No.
And it was so good.
Yes,
So good. All right. So woo, this one was difficult. What did it come down to, Steph?
So John ended up picking Mac as the winner of this knockout.
He better have.
And we also had a little foreshadowing before the performances began. John revealed that he had a save left. So it was kind of a given that he was going to use that save on someone. And he used it for Taylor. So she will be moving on to the playoffs as well. Unfortunately, Brandon was sent home.
I was telling Stephanie earlier, I said at least two, if not all of them, had to have been saved.
Absolutely.
And I think that if it was another night, Brandon would have been saved again because it was that good.
Yes.
But I knew that Taylor and Mac had to go through. Like it was just some of the strongest singing of the season. Was done with the two of them.
Yes.
And it was just next so far, like 3 next levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy. And I told Stephanie, I said, if y'all aren't ready to have that adult conversation yet, and that's fine. I need you to do a little bit more growing. Then we can have this adult conversation on what happened tonight, because that was adult.
Yes, it was.
All right. So we had our short with our next one, which this was like the only, in my opinion, downside of the evening.
Yes.
Because
we did not get to see the full of from Team Reba. We had Jordan Rayner. We also had Elizabeth Evans, and we had Caitlin Quisenberry. We did not get to see either Elizabeth or Caitlin's performance, much like they did. Yeah, much like what they did with Bias the previous night. All we got to see was Jordan. Jordan sang Hole in the Bottle by Kelsey Ballerini, and it sounded great. You know, we got to see some of the rehearsal footage, and we got to see all of Jordan's personality. We got to hear.
Jordan doesn't make it as a singer, she'll make it as a stand-up comedian. She really does have stand-up comedian timing. Like
yes, she does.
It's quite amazing to watch her in her stand-up comedian element too.
Yes, she's very quick. So, you know, from what we heard of the performance, it sounded good. It was a little bit of a different sound for her, but she worked it out as she always does. And Reba chose her to move forward. Really upset that we did not get to see the other ladies sing, especially Elizabeth. Really, really upset. Again, NBC, if y'all are listening, NBC's The Voice. Again, let me remind you that you do have a YouTube channel where these performances could be uploaded to, so that we could all enjoy them.
Please, please.
Please.
All right. So our final battle or knockout battle for the night. Um, the impossible, and one that I'm going to assume Stephanie wasn't even prepared for. Like, I'm still like, I'm just
Shooketh.
confused. I'm just confused. And we'll talk about that one in a minute. So we had Niall's last group.
Yes.
Bringing up the caboose.
Yes.
Who do we have, Stephanie?
We had Alexa Wildish, we had Julia Roome, and we had Lennon VanderDoes. We started out with Alexa. She sang Believe by Cher.
Alexa, the greatest compliment you could have gotten was from Winona Judd when she said, "You are the next Joni Mitchell."
Come on.
You are the next Joni Mitchell. Alexa, this quiver in your voice and the emotion. I said, you have done nothing but been vulnerable. I have never seen a more vulnerable singer than you in my life.
That's right.
That every time you open your mouth,
yes,
you exude vulnerability and you are like, I am going to show you every scar I have through my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it is heartbreaking in the greatest way.
Yeah.
You take us all there. You make us feel something. I said, I could tell that you lost the love of your life. And when you said we actually broke up amicably because we realized it would be best to let each other go. I said, I could still see that it was so fresh. It was so palpable. It was still so raw. But you are one of the rare gem type of singers, Alexa, that you take all that emotion and it comes out. And you actually are so gracious enough to share it with us.
Yeah.
And I can tell, Alexa, that music has saved your life. And it is your therapy. And Stephanie and I both know because music has saved our lives. So we get it.
Yeah.
We get it. You are that special. But the thing is that you continue to show up and you continue to still, like, I don't know if I have the emotional and mental fortitude to stay in that space when I sing the way you stay in that space. I would be a mess.
That's right.
And we're all beautiful messes. We all are.
Yeah.
But Alexa, I have no words for you, young lady. I really, really don't. It was just heartbreaking and it was magnificent all in one. This is a Cher club song, y'all. This is a song, and she said, Alexa said, you know what? I had to really listen to the lyrics of this song, and Cher was really saying something.
Yes. Yes.
And sis, what you did on that guitar. While you were singing, it was like what Claudia B did with the piano in her voice. It's what you did with your guitar. It's like you and the guitar were having a conversation. And the band was following you. It was stupendous.
Yeah. Like, particularly in these singing competitions, I have never seen a deeper empath in my life. And I've never seen an artist of any kind be able to be so emotional, but that be some of the beauty of the vocal. Like, it does not disrupt the beauty and the execution of the vocal. It almost enhances it. Like, it's, I just wrote down, it's like this beauty from ashes vocal that she has. Like, she takes the ashes of her life and she makes them beautiful. I could talk about the specifics. Just come on, choice, come on, run. The way she interprets the
Oh, that run.
lyrics. Oh, that run. Um, the ache in her voice, like when her voice opens up, it's almost like, oh God, the previous contestant that we had, Lila. It's almost like the universe opens up. Like I can see the universe, or I can see nature. I could see the world when her voice opens up. It was incredible. It was incredible. That's all I can say. It was incredible.
It was otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy. Cher, this is Cher song.
Cher.
You believe in life after love. Like it was that song, you all.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
stripped down.
Totally.
Alexa.
Yes.
All right, now this next one, I'm still. Like Stephanie, y'all sent me a text with like wide eyes, and I said, yo. And I said, did we just witness what I think we just witnessed in young Julia? I can't wait. I got to go back and listen to this again, because if I heard what I think I heard.
Oh, you did? Because I was wearing my good ears.
I don't even know what that was. What did Julia sing? Freaking see ya.
We can see.
Y'all, the reason why Stephanie and I are like, if it was midday, we'd be screaming and carrying on a bit, but we're tired and
we just
late.
don't even have the energy.
The reason why Stephanie and I are like carrying on low key the way we are is because this girl is 13. She is in middle school. Okay? Middle school. She's a baby. And she came on here singing some Sia. I said, nope. Somebody's got to give me this birth certificate. Check it. I don't believe it. I said, this is just impossible. Impossible for her to be singing the way she sang tonight. It was like a vocal cord transplant.
Come on.
I said, Julia said, hold up. No, Julia, you know what Julia said? Julia said, hold my Capri Sun. Hold my juice box. Because she's 13. That's what Julia said. She said, hold my Capri Sun. I got one more thing to say. I know I'm here. I got 2 titans in this season I'm competing with. And she just was like, I said, there was a mic drop moment. This is the first, I don't think in this round we've had a mic drop moment until Julia did what she did. And Julia said,
No, like literally. Like
I said, the power, the poise, the everything. I said, she is 13 years old singing Sia down. It's Sia. I said, who are you, Julia? You're not the girl I saw in the audition. You're not the girl I saw in the battles.
The battle. I don't know who that was.
Julia can compete with any person on this show, and she's 13. That's one of the scariest performances I've ever seen. And the fact that she's 13 made it even more terrifying. Because she's only going to get better. Stephanie?
She started off, and I was like, huh?
Stephanie said,
wait, I was like, I have my good ears in, huh? Because she sounded so much like Sia. Like, she sounded like Sia, and I was just like, wait.
And she just went off.
She said,
she snapped, Stephanie.
No,
that was a snappage.
No, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened in a minute. She said, put my armor on. Put my armor on. I said, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I said, the maturity of the sound, I was not ready. I said, the maturity, even her performance, James, she was not up there looking like a 13-year-old girl. She was looking like a young woman being like, put my armor on and show you. Like, it was so unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
I said, Julie, you been hanging with Jackie Roar? I said, you've been hanging with Miss Jackie Roar? Because at the end, there was snappage. And No chairs needed to turn. We were not willing chairs to turn, but she was willing herself to move through. Or she was willing herself, she was willing us or compelling us to hear her. That's what she was doing. She was,
What does a 13-year-old know about leaving it all on the stage?
well, she did. She did. No, she did.
That's something you learn when you get older. She's 13 and she left it all on the stage. She knew, like, to be that mature in 8th grade, and to know that she's got 2 singers that she knows she can't beat, quote unquote.
Quote unquote, yes. Yes.
So she's like, it was a Dream Girls, you're gonna love me.
Yes, it was. Julia was playing with house money and she won. Yeah, she won. Yes, it was. We do. Where did all that range come from, James? Like, it just kept going. It just kept going. I still, it was almost like, stop. Like, I can't take any, like, Julia, well done, ma'am. Well done. It was stunning. It was stunning. And I'm so happy for you because you left it all out there.
So far,
you left it all out there. No crumbs. No crumbs, no bits, no grains. The stage was clean. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Woo! Okay, our last performance of the night.
Ugh. Okay.
See, now I'm getting messed up. Jeez.
It was Lennon VanderDoes. He sang "I Won't Get Up." He sang "I Won't Give Up" by Jason Mraz.
You're killing me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm crying because of the performance or what happened with John. Like,
I'm crying off of both because I saw what John saw, and the fact that he was a human enough, a beautiful human enough to put words to what I saw and gave that to Lennon, like gifted him with that and gifted us all with that, was so beautiful, was so impactful. I was a mess.
Lennon, there's something that you do. I've never seen a singer do ever. And it's not just vulnerability. Sir, I've never seen a singer take their insecurities in that they had in what their greatest gift is. Mm-hmm. Usually when somebody's talking about their giftedness, insecurity and giftedness never coexist.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sense of this. I hope I am making sense because it's late.
I'm tracking.
Like when you talk about, I've always had a different voice. Mm-hmm. And I could go on to say, you haven't actually said this, but I could probably go on to guess that, for a while there, you doubted not so much your talent, but you probably have questioned, why was I given a voice like this? Like, I know I can sing, but why was I given a voice where I sound like weird or different? Like, I know I'm a good singer, but I'm not, because it's not what somebody expects a guy to sound like.
It's not conventional.
Correct. I said, Lennon, no one sounds like you. What makes you, and that's what makes you so captivating. I said, Lennon, you are so, 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 so special. Because you have honed your insecurity and your greatest gift, and you have made it a tour de force of a voice. I said, by the end of this song, you were preaching. It was like a release. and there was so much anointing that was coming out of your throat, like it pierced. Like we're still here, we're crying about it because it pierced. Dude, it pierced. And Alan, like it was almost as if like your eyes were a little wide at the end, like almost as if you were having an out of body experience.
Listen,
because it was like almost as like you were like, what just happened? I said you were preaching on the back. The I won't give up. What you did on the it was a cry.
Mm.
It was a cry. And it was so special. And you are so special. I'm sorry, Stephanie. Take it. Jeez. Jeez.
I think that we got to witness his breakthrough.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's why he could preach at the end of that song.
Yeah. It was a
Because
release.
it was a release and it was a declaration.
Yeah.
It was a declaration. I'm not going to question this any further. I'm not going to question my voice any further. I'm not going to doubt my voice any further. I'm going to walk in my giftedness, not anybody else's.
Weirdness, awkwardness.
Who I am.
I sound like nobody, and that voice would never make it. Stinking thoughts that I'm sure you've had, or maybe even people have told you, ew, you sound weird. You sound like a girl. Like I can see like all of these, and yes, you do. You sound all of those things, and it's magnificent.
It's magnificent. And to have John Legend, who is not this man does not, and it doesn't mean that he's not.
He was sobbing.
No, like he could not stop.
He couldn't control.
He couldn't control himself.
Not be in control.
He's always composed. Like he's not stiff by any means, but there's always just a sense of control there, of just, whatever. But he was trying to speak and he could not speak. Because that's how powerful the moment was. And that is how apparent that man's, when he lifted his arms, I was just like, stop. Like, I had to like look away because I wasn't going to be able to get through the rest of the show.
Right.
It was so powerful. It was so powerful. Thank you. Thank you, Lennon. Thank you for just being brave enough to share your gift with us.
We love you, sir. And that beautiful wife of yours.
Yes, absolutely.
They're both friends of the Pitchy podcast,
yes.
and we just
oh my
love
gosh.
them. Wow. That was it, sir. That was it. That was the exclamation point that we all needed.
Absolutely.
And by that, when I say that we all needed, so at the top of the show, Stephanie and I talked about how something's happening this season. No one can explain it, but just something truly, truly unique and special is happening this season. And, are these people necessarily more talented than previous seasons? No. Everyone that we've come across, and Stephanie and I have experienced, the talent is just, it's limitless, right? From the season to season to season.
Right.
But something this season is happening.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe we'll find out. But if we do find out, we won't tell you. Maybe contestants will talk to us and we'll find out, whatever. But the powers that be at NBC, ultimately the people who write the checks and the people who make these executive decisions see it too. Like it is affecting from the top all the way down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they set it up perfectly. So before we do that, before we talk
Yeah.
about that, let's just say
Oh,
that
yeah. I'm sorry.
Alexa, that's okay. Alexa was the winner of this battle,
It was an
of
impossible
this
choice.
knockout. Niall was like almost distraught. Like
Yeah.
I felt bad for him because
He didn't know which way was up.
he didn't know which way was up, and there no steals, no saves, no nothing from anybody. Nobody had anything, so it was just now picking one artist. He picked Alexa to move forward, and it was just so heavy. Like it was just so heavy because both Julia and Lennon more than deserved to move on, and there was just no availability for that. So you may continue, James.
So, like, literally with like 30 seconds left, I was like, what was going to, because they gave a little preview for it before.
Yeah.
We found out that because this is such a special season, The Voice in the 24 seasons they've been on has never done what they did. So then what they do is they then flash to every one of the judges with a smartphone in their hand, calling a contestant. Now, of course, we got to have a cliffhanger.
Right.
So, because we got to tune in next week. This is still a TV show. So they're going to make it dramatic.
Right.
But the premise is, you all, that all 4 judges could call back any contestant that got sent home. Didn't matter what team they were on.
Yeah.
They all had one final save of a contestant that they wanted to bring back. And I said, NBC, you get a gold star today.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
Really do. Because there were too many people that went home that shouldn't have gone home.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be very curious to see who got them calls and who's coming back.
I'm very curious.
And whether they just go straight to the playoffs or what it is. Like, because we don't know what happens once they make the call.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee one of them will be Lennon. Like, I have no shadow of a doubt that one of them will be Lennon. I can't speak for anyone else.
Yeah.
I personally would make it Julia and Lennon because it was that, because they're the freshest. But I know there were others that got sent home. But I know for a fact one of them is going to be Lennon.
I would be very surprised if it wasn't after that.
And I know, sir, because you're friends of the show. And I know you can't tell us. And I know your beautiful wife can't tell us either. But Lennon, we know it's got to be you. That's just
send us a thumbs up. Send us a thumbs up.
That's our educated guess, Lennon. But we know it's got to be you.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
All right. So, Stephanie, what an amazing evening. I am still, like, what an amazing day. Because we recorded all day today. And just this week was so doggone special.
It really was.
And I'm glad NBC saw it too.
Yes. Yes.
So, Stephanie, tell everybody what they need to hear.
All right. So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. Also, check us out on YouTube. Search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And last, do not forget to follow us on Instagram at the Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
All right, you all. We'll see you next week for... We don't know what's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm crazy. But we're here for it. And we'll keep you all abreast of the latest findings.
Yes.
Until next week. Bye, Steph.
Bye-bye.